All right. Welcome to the show. The Fresh Cut Podcasters are back. I'm your host, Wes Hood. Got the big dog on deck in the new studio. We're both via satellite. We're going to piggyback on our NFC over-unders that we did last week. So obviously we're going to go over the AFC over-unders. Going to talk about what we think the projection will go, and we'll maybe bounce back and forth between what their schedule was last year. But Cody, are you ready to get back into it? I mean, football season, it feels like it is on us.
I mean, it's on us. And this, if you think about it, this last weekend, it was actually the last weekend of no football. You know, it's preseason still coming up, but that this past weekend that everybody was enjoying, I was at the movies watching Spider Man. It was last weekend with no football. From here on out, we're gonna have football on the weekends, and that makes me a happy man.
Yeah, let's get Cody out of the movie theater watching Spider-Man and into the couch dissecting football games, what he does best. So, look, none other. Let's go ahead. You start us off with the AFC North, Cody. Let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals. What do you think? They're 9.5 over under. Where are you going for 2026?
Well, Cincinnati comes in and they're looking really good this year. Yeah, everybody wants to see how the defense is going to be. You add Dexter Lawrence up front. Yes, they did lose Trey Hendrickson, but you want to see how they're going to be as a complete package on defense because giving up 30 points a game is definitely not going to cut it. And so I got them going just slightly over. If it's at right now, it's at 9.5. I got them going slightly over at 10-7.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I actually like Cincinnati here, 6-11 last year. Their strength of schedule, third easiest according to ESPN. So I actually had no problem pushing the over here. I actually think they may even get closer to 11 or 12 wins. You're totally right. Giving up 30 points is tough, but when you're going to score 35 possibly, I'll take it. And we've seen some offenses in the past that have been able to overcome a crappier defense. So Cody and I both on board with the over of 9.5 with Cincinnati. I'm going to go ahead and start it off. Baltimore is the next one in the AFC North, and I'm going to go with last year they were 8-9. Lamar had some issues. This year their over under is 11.5. They're everybody's darling. Zay Flowers got paid. Mark Andrews got paid. Is anybody really excited about that? I'm not. I love Lamar to death. New coaching staff. That usually here lately that has translated into wins. They do have a somewhat easy schedule, ninth easiest according to ESPN. Their win total is 11.5. I pushed the under on that, and I think we start to see the decline, unfortunately, of Lamar here this year.
Man, yeah, that's big right there. I do think that it's just going to be slightly under in my book. I don't think there's going to be this huge drastic fall off. I got them
Did they
just
win more than last year?
yeah, that's what I got. I got them. We talked about 11.5 is the over under. I got them slightly under, just right at 11 wins. I got them pretty high. I got them, when we break it down at the end, at number one in the division, just because I just think that Lamar, everybody knows the pressure is going to be on him. I think that it's the make or break year for Lamar Jackson, and I think he's going to do really good this year. I think the new offensive coordinator is going to be better than what they've had, and Tom Munkin, who's now the Cleveland coach that we're going to talk about pretty soon. But I just think they're going to be a little bit better this year than the big fall off.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I am going out on a limb. Obviously, that's a contrarian take, but you mentioned Cleveland, so let's pick it up there. 5-12 last year. Their win total this year is only 5.5. But one thing I noticed, they have a very, very easy schedule. And I know this is, again, sticking with contrarian, I think they go over that. I'm not saying they're a playoff team, but I bet they win 6 or 7 games. I go over on the 5.5. Where are you at, Cody?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that this team is more talented than people think they are. They're extremely young, which is not like the kind of not necessarily like a bad thing, but they're a really good squad. It's just that we talked about Atlanta last week. Whenever you have two quarterbacks, you kind of have no quarterbacks. I don't think Cleveland fans, want to see Watson, but it seems like Watson's going to start, and then it's like what happens to Sanders too, and I think everybody wants to see Sanders play. So I do have them going right at 6 wins, which is right above the 5.5.
Yep, yep. Don't want to dive too much into it. You and I have both talked about that we think that Sean will probably be the quarterback to start the year, and a lot of people have laughed at us, but we shall see. So that leaves only one team left, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I bet Cody and I are going to be a little off on this. Last year, 10-7. This year, 2026 over under is 8.5 wins. They're right in the middle of the pack with strength of schedule, but I actually think that Mike McCarthy and Rodgers get it done, and I think that they finish at least a game or two above 8.5 wins. Cody, you
Yeah,
gonna count double check me there or what?
no, I got them just right at 9 wins, so just right above 8.5. I think they go 9-8, which is classic Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we don't have a losing season with Mike Tomlin, and we're still not going to have a losing season, but we're just barely going to get over the hump. Now, this is that veteran squad that we're talking about. We talked about Cleveland being so young. This is a veteran squad that's going to be, I mean, probably one of the oldest teams in the NFL in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so, I said, I think they're going to be right there at it, but I just don't think they have enough stars to get over the hump.
Yep. Yep. So I would imagine I could definitely tell that that's going to have us a little bit different. So my breakdown for the AFC North, I have Cincy winning the division. I've got Pittsburgh coming in second, Baltimore a disappointing third, and Cleveland obviously in fourth place. Cody, I know you're going to rearrange those first three, aren't you?
Yeah. I got Baltimore 1, Cincinnati 2, Pittsburgh 3, and Cleveland 4.
Yep. So, as I kind of suspected, but the AFC North is always tough. This is one of those that we could both be wrong on this. Who knows? It's all up to how strong the defenses are. They're not necessarily leaning on that like they used to in the past. So we shall see. Really easy schedule for the AFC North this year. So got a couple new coaches. Everybody's new except for Cincy, right?
Yeah, Zach Taylor.
Yeah, Zach Taylor. So that's going to be interesting. So that is our wrap up for the AFC North. We're going to cut everything off and check us out. We'll break down the AFC South next. Thank you for listening.